Yeah, it's fair.
All right, we are back over here on the NFC North Roundtable, man. Week 11's in the books. We got another divisional matchup this week. I'm fired up, man. We had some good football. Well, I don't know if it was good football, but it was competitive. We had competitive football this last week, man. We have the order. We have your content creators here. I'm excited for this show, man, because there was some controversy this week, so that's good. We got maybe controversy to talk about. There's a lot of news going on, a lot of injury updates we have to dive into, a lot of good stuff. But before we get into any of that, man, let's meet who's here. Nick, how you doing after Nick, how you doing, man? That was tough.
Man, you know what? There's not too many good things to say, but just so we know, I thought it was a very hard-fought game. As I always say, I had a lot of fun, but I felt pain before like this already this season, so it didn't hurt as much. But man, it was a fun game this past Sunday. I'm sure Baz will. I mean, it definitely was fun for Baz, but it was a competitive game. It was enjoyable to watch.
Well, Nick, here's what I'm going to do. So I actually brought you in on the intro first because we got to give our shout out to BetUS, but I thought the best way to do it is when we're looking at these odds, Nick, man. I'm very intrigued by these Rookie of the Year odds right here. So like you're seeing Caleb Williams at plus 5,000. How interested are you in maybe taking that bet? Like you're looking at that remaining schedule. You got some tough teams. This is a chance to show out for Caleb Williams. New OC, you looked a little bit better. Are you feeling good about the plus 5,000 odds, Nick, right now for Caleb Williams?
You know I am, Dion. You know I'm gonna break it all down for you real quick. Is that Caleb Williams is about to break the Bears' single season rookie quarterback passing record this upcoming weekend against the Minnesota Vikings. On top of that, too, which isn't a hard record to break, but he's going to do it. On top of that, too, he did go against a very tough Packers secondary. No turnovers, threw over 74% of completions. Thomas Brown and him are a really good connection, and Caleb had some very, very positive things to say about Thomas Brown after the game, but also kind of threw some shots at Shane Waldron saying, like, I actually understand this offense now. I can get things done. I feel a lot more confident in my game, and I feel like Caleb's going to start turning it up. So I feel pretty good about it. And his stats aren't that much worse. I mean, Bo Nix for sure is, in my personal opinion, the best rookie quarterback in football right now. Yeah. But I'm not counting Caleb out of it yet. I think that he has a decent shot at it.
Yeah, man. Risking $5 wins you $250. I'm gonna put the 5 on that, man. Use that code YouTube150. You get 150% deposit match on that first deposit, 125% on your next two, man. Shout out to BetUS sponsoring today's live stream. We'll come back to that. Bass, how are you, man, after being on the other end of that crazy game?
Oh, I'm feeling great. I was a little bit worried there, but at the end of the day, I figured the Bears would be the Bears, and they were. 7-3. I'm gonna try to keep it as tame as possible, Nick. You know, you guys did play a good football game. We'll talk about it. But 7-3, right? Still third in the division at 7-3 is absolutely insane. 7-3 would lead the AFC South, the NFC South, and the NFC West. So again, just showcasing that, you know, the Vikings, the Lions, the Packers just continue to win. The Packers win in the last 4 or 5. The only one dropped is to the Lions. And the Packers have lost to 3 very good football teams that are all have a better record than the Eagles, the Vikings, and the Lions. So I'm feeling good right now. Although we're third in the division, you know, we're still on the up.
You know, one bar, man, I was here. I heard something this week when we were talking about the Vikings that everybody's kind of forgetting about your guys' defense. Like, that's where the talk is. Nobody's talking about it anymore. You guys were 5-0. It's all about the defense from the outside looking in. But now the talk is people are concerned about Sam Darnold. But that defense continues to cook, man. You guys got another win, 8 wins on the season. I keep rooting for you to lose. It's not working. One bar, how you feeling?
Hey, 8-2, man. Defense showed up last week, got 5 sacks. Offense actually looked pretty good. It wasn't the most exciting game, but at the end of the day, it's a dub. I was starting to get yelled at during my when I was live streaming, because I was mostly watching the end of the Bears-Packers game. I mean, that was the game to watch. So I look forward to talking about that one. But we got the Bears coming up, Nick. I'm looking forward to it. It's I think it's actually gonna be a pretty damn good game. I'm not gonna talk a ton of smack today, but 8-2. How can you be sad?
Yeah, one bar, that's facts, man. I had Red Zone on in the background doing the same thing, just yelling at the Bears like, oh, they hold up. First off, when you guys went for it, you guys didn't go for it on 4th down. You punted, like, you can't do that. You can't give them the ball back. Then they scored a touchdown. I was so invested in that game, but Nick, just to move it to you guys, because we got to knock this out. Chat, let us know your thoughts. The field goal controversy, I guess there's some. I didn't really know it was a thing like that, but people have said, was he able to be on a long snapper like he was? They get another blocked field goal, 2nd straight week. Bears lose on. I guess he was really good from that range too, Nick. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I did find these real quick online. You can buy these. They're foam bricks, so you can throw them at your TV. So maybe, honestly, Nick, Christmas present, we might have to send you some foam bricks. What is your take on the whole situation, Nick?
Okay, so just going to break the whole thing down. First of all, the Bears, not even 2 weeks ago, so 2 weeks before this game, were given a leveraging call for the same exact thing that the Green Bay Packers did on the Bears center. You can't touch him. You can't go above him. It was clear as day. I mean, Baz, I'm sure you're not upset about the call being missed, but like, it was clear as day. Another thing about that too is that the Bears had 37 seconds and 1 timeout left, and Cairo Santos, that was a 45-yard field goal. Cairo Santos, if he was 3 yards closer, anytime that he's within 42 yards, he has never missed in his career. So I'm not saying the 3-yard difference, he's a professional kicker. I get it. He should make that kick. But at the same time, Eberflus had 1 timeout left. Rashawn Johnson, your running back, has a 3.5 yard per carry average. You give it to him 1 time, you get things going, you move it up a little bit more, and then you're within range. So that's number 1 right there. On top of it, too, Cairo Santos never kicks from the left hash. For some reason, Matt Eberflus told him to kick from the left hash. He's 100% as the Bears kicker, kicking from the right hash. Just so many things went wrong with that field goal. That was insanity to me. And Baz, I want to hear your thoughts on the leveraging call. Like, I already see some people saying cope, whatever, but I guarantee if it was the Green Bay Packers, you guys would be losing your freaking minds.
No.
It was 100%.
There was so many missed calls in that game. DeAndre Swift false starting, thinking it's a false sideline. Like, right, the refs. We can all agree the refs are not good this year, but I don't think that was a blatant missed call by any means. Carl Brooks didn't leverage himself in between people. We just simply outpushed you guys. Watch the snap when the ball's being tipped. 4 your offensive linemen are falling in their ass. They just got pushed back, right? Our guys just out-muscled your offensive linemen in terms of that field goal package. And, you know, they watched the film, they watched the tape, and they realized that Santos low drives a long field goal, 43-plus yards. So that's why they were able to get a hand on it. The NFL's been changing that rule a ton, the leveraging, the lining up over center. We didn't line up over the long snapper. Did we kind of get pushed into the right, you know, in between the long snapper and the guard? Sure. But, you know, you're trying to go block a field goal. I don't think either of them pushed down the long snapper. Like, when you watched all 22, the long snapper wasn't pushed down, in my opinion. But I guess we can argue about it. But, you know, the Eberflus was saying that he's going to talk to, or he sent a word up to the NFL officiating to talk about this. And then this morning, the NFL announces Carl Brooks as the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. I think that was their answer to Eberflus's complaint.
Yeah, that was a little bit of kick to the mouth. I'm not going to lie. And when I saw that, I was like, God, how terrible is that? But it is what it is. I mean, the game's over. I mean, we can't go back on it. Personally, from my opinion, you can't touch the center. Like, it literally, that's what happened to the Bears 2 weeks ago against the exact same situation. If you put replay next to each other, the Bears got called for that, but then the Packers didn't.
And it was a different, I'm sure it was a different referee group. And you know, if you look at certain referee groups and how they call games, some allow more defensive holding in terms of like cornerbacks getting hands on receivers. Some don't call false starts on the one Chiefs tackle, Jawan Taylor. Like, there's different referee groups. I think we can all agree that there's inconsistency, right? Like, we can all agree that referee groups have inconsistency. I think that rule needs to be adjusted and just streamlined. It's kind of like a few years ago when we're talking about what is a catch. Like, I'm kind of like in that same ballpark there, but I don't think it should have been a penalty, but I get your point. I get your frustration there.
Before we go to the injury side, one more. I want to go right back to you real quick because I've been reading this about the Vikings, and I got to ask the question. Everybody, I mean, the Vikings people are saying, is this a fluky season right now? Like, are you guys fluky? Is this team legit? Like, where's your confidence level? Because it looks like you guys are going to make the playoffs. It's looking real good right now. So when you guys get into the playoffs, how confident are you, especially if this team has to go on the road in the playoffs for the first game?
I think the Vikings are very confident. I mean, right now on the road, I think we're 4-1. 4-1 right now on the road. I mean, we play to our competition. It's kind of cliche. A lot of teams say that when you have a crappy game against a crappy team, like, oh, we played down to our competition, instead of just saying, hey, we just sucked ass today, or they brought their A game. So you could say that a lot, but no. Vikings fans right now, I would say it's probably about 30% of the people saying, like, hey, we're not going anywhere. This is a fluke. But look at the teams we've beaten. Look at the games we've played. I mean, right now, the Lions blowing everybody out. The closest game they've had is against the Vikings. It's a 2-point game. It's a 2-point game, and we were missing some big players. We beat the Packers. Look at the resume. They got plenty of time to figure some stuff out. They got some stuff to figure out and fix. Absolutely. Defense, secondary. Sam Darnold's got to get going, but There's no reason. If you're a Vikings fan and you're sad about being 8-2 right now, go watch a different sport. Beat it. I mean, give me a break. You could be the Bears.
Oof.
Love you, Nick.
Dang.
That was unnecessary. But one bar, I did read some big news. You talk about missing some of those big guys. Nick Muse has returned. Can you elaborate on what that means, man? Come on now.
Absolutely nothing. There's our
Okay.
third string tight end.
Hell is that?
21-day window. Nick Muse is a legend. If you get bored, if you're bored at work sometime, look up Nick Muse and his college photo that he's got out on Google. It'll make you love him instantly. But yeah, Nick, you know what? I should say this. Josh Oliver didn't practice today. So Nick Muse could end up being a player in a couple weeks.
Okay. Any other big injury updates, though? Anything that we need to know of?
Vikings are actually pretty damn healthy right now.
Okay, I just looked it up, one bar. There you go.
Got his hand on his hip, looking good.
Yep. He's
Oh
looking
yeah,
good.
that's Nick Muse, the legend, baby.
He's looking good.
I wish I would have had the picture. Now I'm disappointed. Baz, man, I saw, two things. So Marshawn Lloyd, before I get on here, I see he goes on the NFI list. And then Jair Alexander, I don't know if this is this week or not, but is he back? Like what's going on with the Packers over there?
Man, I don't think anybody. I don't even think Jair knows if he's back. Honestly, like he's been like 50% for the past 2 years. Seems like every divisional game he doesn't play. He was active against the Bears, but played 10 snaps. He was on like a snap share and then just checked that back out with the re-aggravation of his knee. Man, his availability has been absolutely terrible over the past 2 seasons for how much we're paying him, and it seems like every year it's not just like one injury that keeps him out multiple games. It's like every year he picks up multiple injuries, and the best ability is availability, and he's not available. So he didn't practice today, and Matt LaFleur gave the same old spiel of, well, we're gonna see how he is throughout the week. Like, he's not gonna give you any answer there. So I'm not keeping my hopes up for Jair returning at a high level. I don't know. Maybe in 4 weeks, maybe, but like I'm not hopeful. I'm not going into this 49ers matchup going, we could win so long we have Jair. I'm not even expecting him to be out there at this point. As for Marshawn Lloyd, unfortunate, events for him last week, returning from IR from his lower leg injuries. I think he had a hamstring and also an ankle injury. So he's finally returning. He was back to practice last week after being out since week 2 against the Colts. He got injured in that game, and he woke up with a burst appendix last Friday. So so they were getting ready. Yeah, they're getting ready to take him off IR. He opened his practice window, set to be activated from IR to the 53. So then the Packers were in a weird situation. They're like, well, he's hurt, so how can we get around not activating him from IR? Because if we don't, he's placed on IR for the rest of the year, and he won't be able to play at all. Well, they had to then activate him to the roster and then place him on NFI today, the non-football injury. So he's out another minimum of 4 weeks, which an appendectomy, it could be 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So it's kind of right around that mark. Weirdly, Bakhtiari had the same thing happen a couple of years ago. So that's like the second time it's happened to the Packers in the last couple of years. So it's just really unfortunate for a rookie running back that I've just been dying to see get on the field. Although we've had a lot of talent in our running back room, I still have been dying to see him on the field. So hopefully he gets good in a few weeks.
And Josh Jacobs was doing some work last week. Yeah. Nick, speaking of running backs, though, what's going on with Mick Swifto, man? I mean, that's what we used to call him. What's going on with Mick Swifto? Is he all right?
Yeah, no, he popped up on the injury report today with a groin injury, which I was kind of shocked by. And it's funny because I know I got some people in the chat right now who are in my videos because I wanted to trade Khalil Herbert earlier in the year. They ended up trading him anyway, and they're like, no, we need him because what if Swift goes down? Sure enough, 2 weeks after the trade deadline, we need Khalil Herbert more than ever. And right now, our current running back room, if DeAndre Swift is out this Sunday against the Vikings, which is a huge loss, but 2, if he is injured, we have Darrington Evans, Rashawn Johnson, and Travis Homer as our 3 running backs this upcoming weekend. So not the greatest room, but at the same time, Rashawn Johnson's great on the goal line, 5 for 5 on goal line rushing touchdowns this year, which I'll take, but we're not on the goal line 99% of the game. So pretty darn tough situation. But DeAndre Swift, Matt Eberflus said today during his presser, was like, we just sat him out today. He said it wasn't anything serious. It just felt slightly aggravated, worked with the trainer. So hopefully he'll be back tomorrow at practice.
Yeah, I mean, I liked watching Roshan. Let's give a shout out to Ed real quick. He says, excited to see Brian Flores embarrass Caleb. Ed, man, Ed's a Lions fan. That's it. We appreciate you, though, Ed.
Jesus.
Nick, I want to go to this divisional game, but I do want to start off with this question first before I really dig into this one. Are we feeling good about the first performance with the new offensive coordinator? I know we were kind of like laughing about it last week, all the changes that were made. But did you notice change? I mean, you watch this team every week. Could you see a difference in your offense?
We moved the ball. We actually moved.
scored a touchdown.
We scored 2 touchdowns, actually. Just keep that in mind. Yeah, 2 touchdowns. Let's go. No, I'm super happy with it because here's the big thing that I saw besides the play calling is that there was actually energy out of Thomas Brown. That after that first touchdown, he grabs the headphones, slams them on the table, and you see him yell like, "Let's, fudge word go." And he's just absolutely losing his mind, dabbing everybody up. Everyone's pumped. Caleb's pointing up at the box. Like there's chemistry there now. On top of that too, Caleb Williams' first game with Thomas Brown, he already averaged more passing yards than he did with Shane Waldron all year. Even though he had some big games with Waldron, like the average itself, he had 21 more yards than he did on average with Waldron. And then on Caleb's rushing yards too, went from 4 yards a carry to 8 yards a carry. And also during Caleb's post-game conference, Thomas Brown was like, "You're a gifted runner. Use your legs. Don't be afraid to go out of the pocket." Caleb admitted that Shane Waldron would tell him to stay in the pocket and be a pocket passing quarterback. That's what helped the Bears offense move so much. I mean, 74% completion percentage against a very tough Packers secondary. I mean, Baz, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys were the 11th ranked defense overall from a yardage perspective entering that game. Was it 11th or 12th or something like that?
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Right.
So like a tough defense to go against, new offensive coordinator. Also, shout out to Thomas Brown too. I mean, he was getting a ton of grief for what happened with him in Carolina. He comes into Chicago, the most important game of the season. Just, win or lose, you want to beat Green Bay, even though we've lost 11 in a row. Shout out Baz for that. But, they did a great job. And Caleb understood his offensive game plan. He looked excited. He had nothing but good things to say. And you could definitely tell his confidence was a lot higher than it usually is. So, that's a big morale win for the Bears franchise.
I mean, he had 70 rushing yards, right? In that game. I don't know if has he come close to that this year?
Yeah.
No. 70 rushing yards, 9 rushes for 70. I think that's like a 7.9 yard per carry or something like that.
Yep.
7.8. And then on top of it, too, 231 passing yards. So he had over 300 yards of total offense. So Caleb had a heck of a day. Really pumped about what he had to do, and especially what could come with him and Thomas Brown.
I'll be honest with you, man. What fired me up was the end of that game for Caleb. Because honestly, outside of that, I was like, it still looked like at times I thought that he was just like kind of forcing it downfield. And I don't know that I love this. But that final drive, man, when Green Bay was like getting after him a little bit, staying in there, made some big throws, made the huge play on third down. That was like the special ability that he's capable of. It was like he brought that he gave them life. He gave them a chance to go win that game. So now to expand on that game, Nick, I'll go right back to you, man. Overall takeaways from this loss.
No, we walked into that game knowing we were likely to lose. And I mean, Green Bay is the better team this year. We just don't look good. We expect, you guys know me. I want to win. I want to win every single game. But Bears Nation was like, just make it competitive. And we did. And our defense looked great. They kept Green Bay under 21 points. That's 15 of the last 16. There was energy in the building. Our rushing attack looked really solid. Our offensive line actually looked pretty good, only allowing 3 sacks. Of course, 2 of them on the final drive, which was very, very stressful. But overall, this Bears team, if they would have played like that all year, they would have beat the Commanders, they would have beat the Patriots, and they probably would have made it a lot closer against the Arizona Cardinals. But this team actually looked competent against the Green Bay Packers. They made it entertaining. The offense, shout out to the line, shout out to DeAndre Swift. Also, Keenan Allen was a great target for the Bears. DJ Moore with 7 receptions, 62 yards. They got Cole Kmet going again. Defense looked pretty solid. They had a sack against a pretty good Packers offensive line. They did Josh, I believe that was the lowest rushing day for Josh Jacobs, right, Baz? I think he only had 72 yards rushing?
76, but I feel like
76.
he's had lower in a game, but yeah, I'm not sure, but I feel like he's had lower.
They maintained him pretty well. And against the Bears rush defense, missing Andrew Billings, our secondary did really well. Shout out to Terrell Smith getting an interception off Jordan Love. Really read the play well in the red zone. But I was pumped about how the Bears played against the Packers. It was a good game. They stayed in it all the way to the very end. But, of course, bad head coaching decisions, putting Cairo Santos on the hash that he never kicks from. On top of it, too, you had the opportunity to get a few more yards because you still had a timeout. In fact, he actually could have ran 2 more plays if you really wanted to. He could have run a second down and a third down play and got more yards. But game's over. Bears lost. But it was an entertaining, and it gave hope for hopefully more entertaining games throughout the season.
Man, I'll tell you what, Nick. Kyler Gordon is one of my favorite players, bro. I love watching that dude fly around. He is all over the place, man.
Just needs to stay healthy, man. He's just always got hamstring injuries, which I'm like, dude, stretch, like, or go work out. I don't know what to tell you, but like, good Lord, he's always injured. It's so frustrating because he is so good. And also, quickly want to give some positive thoughts to Jaquan Brisker, who went on IR with his concussion. Just so you guys know, got a little intel from inside the building. Probably looks like Jaquan probably won't come back this year. And it's a pretty serious concussion that he's had. I know we talked about it last week, but it's significantly worse than a lot of people thought. So just putting some thoughts and prayers in his ear right now.
Yeah, that's horrible, man. Over to Bass. I mean, you guys had 2 red zone trips, 0 points. It felt like this game could have easily gotten out of hand a little bit, potentially. Shout out to the Bears, though, because they took advantage. High pass from Jordan Love, got it picked off. What were your takeaways from this win?
I'll comment on that first because, the Packers heading into this game, 29th in the red zone, it's been a struggle for us. And then against the Bears, I believe you guys were first entering this game, probably still first after that game. It's something we got to fix. It was an overall ugly game, but I do want to give credit to the Bears. I think they looked a lot better than I expected them to. Nick, correct me if I'm wrong. You guys use a lot of motion. Is that new? Was that not a Waldron thing?
We did use motion with Waldron, but you could definitely tell there was a lot more with Thomas Brown.
Yeah, like you guys were using different motion to set up certain screen plays, and I feel like you guys did a great job of getting your blockers out wide. If you're running, say, bubble screens or wide receiver screen, you guys ran it a lot because we were giving it to you. We're getting washed out of plays. You had like Carrington Valentine just getting blocked into oblivion. Evan Williams, I think when Braxton Jones swung out left for the swift 39-yard touchdown, it was a perfectly set up play. So I got to give credit. I honestly was doubting Thomas Brown, and it seemed like a lot more was in rhythm for Caleb. Like it was 3-step drop, fire on a timing route, right? Like to Keenan Allen on and out, or DJ Moore somewhere on the field, right? So it did look a lot better, and Caleb did look good, and the Packers weren't ready for him to have designed runs. Kenny Clark talked about this after the game that, due to a coordinator switch, they just weren't prepared for that, which they should have been. We know how much of an athlete Caleb is. So there was multiple times when I was streaming during that. It was like a crucial third down. I'm like, read option. It's going to be a read option. It's exactly what it was. I'm like, if I can see it coming, why can't we? So it was a little bit frustrating. Our defense was sloppy. Xavier McKinney didn't play well. Evan Williams didn't play well. Jair didn't play. Edgerrin Cooper finally started to get his well-needed snaps, so that's good to see. Quay Walker was all over the place, missing tackles, on the goal line, trying to tackle Roschon while standing straight up in the air. Like, low man wins, brother. Like, get low and try to at least stop Roschon from getting in the end zone. But the most important thing that I took from this game, sure, Jordan Love threw another bad pass and interception, but he's healthy, right? Jordan Love against pressure against the Bears, 8 for 8. So he was perfect against pressure. That's been a problem earlier this year because he hasn't had his mobility. He doesn't have the knee brace on anymore. He scrambled around the pocket a couple times. You saw that goal line run where he's diving for the end zone. Like, we didn't see that from Jordan weeks 4 through 9 because he couldn't escape. He couldn't get out of the pocket. He couldn't land on that left leg. It looked completely different. So I'm glad we had that bye week because it came at a perfect time. And I thought the Packers did actually run the ball well, even though Jacobs didn't get the volume. The Packers didn't really touch the ball that much. Like, I think we had like 22 minutes of time of possession. You guys did a great job controlling the clock. So, Jacobs 18 for 76, still 4.2 average, a touchdown. Love had some runs for 18 yards. And then receiving, man, got to give credit to Christian Watson. 4 targets, 4 receptions, 150 yards. That's like a Randy Moss stat line there. I think he's one of like 8 receivers in the NFL to have a 150-yard game. Every single other one of them has at least 10 targets in that game. He had 4 targets in this game. So just showcasing his explosive play style there that the Packers need to continue to involve him more. Other than that, not many receiving stats for Reed, Dobbs, Wicks. Josh Jacobs was our second leading receiver, so we used him through the air as well. But yeah, I was so confused with the Bears. I'll end on this with that final drive. Like, you already touched on this, Nick, but I heard that Santos likes the right hash. Like, even if you're not trying to gain yards, move your hash, get to the spot you want your kicker at, right? But yeah, 35 seconds with a timeout. I think even Brady, as like the commentator, is like, what are they doing? Like, even Tom Brady's like, what are they doing? Like, if Tom Brady's saying that, like, you're messing up. Like, you're not doing the correct thing. So I don't get it. With 35 seconds, you just gained, I think it was like 2.5, 3 yards with Roshan on the play before. Like, even if you just run that twice more, that's another 5 yards, right? Then you're at the 40-yard mark, maybe 39-yard mark. You don't got to drive a kick as low.
Where Santos is 100%.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And as much as I like to pour it on, it just, I was like, oh my God, dude. Like, I just don't get it. If that was happening, if the Packers did that and LaFleur did that, I'd be imploding. But I'm glad you guys did. I'm glad you did.
I'm happy you're glad we did. I'm not, but I'm happy you are. Someone's got to be positive over here. I said this out of anger on Sunday. I was like, I swear to God, Matt Eberflus, someone check his phone, check all his sports betting apps, because good Lord, he definitely was like, what am I going to do to screw this thing up? My guys actually won it for this team, because the players are very checked out with Flus. Also, Baz, I want to say I was very happy. Like beforehand, Xavier McKinney and DJ Moore kind of had some beef on social media. And then every single time DJ did something, he's going right up to McKinney after the play and just jawing something. I was like, this is Bears Packers right here. Baby.
Yeah, I was saying it like in my previews and stuff. It didn't really feel like a Bears Packers week too much. Like, there wasn't as much crap talk as we're used to seeing. Like, I don't know if I know, but like still, I still feel like that still needs to be there. You know what I mean? It just wasn't. I think it comes down to it being like week 11 is our first matchup. Like, why? I don't like that. That should never be a thing, especially for like the oldest, the oldest rivalry in the NFL. Like week 11, like what are we doing out here? So
I think I like what we did the 100-year anniversary. We played Green Bay week 1. We played Green Bay week 1 last year. I think that should be like a lock every year that Chicago and Green Bay play each other to start the season. I know like some people might be like, oh, the guy's going to be rusty. That's not as entertaining, but I would love to see that, or at least the first 3 weeks, maybe week 3.
Yeah, I would say at least the first 3 weeks. I don't. There's a lot of weird like issues with the scheduling this year. Not just the Packers, but around the league. I feel like I've been sitting there going, what are we doing here? So I don't know. But overall, it feels good to get a win yet again against the Bears. Obviously, Matt LaFleur 11-0 against the Bears. So it's like I feel, like I said, I feel kind of bad. Like is a rivalry at this point? Like is it like, you know what I mean?
That's the worst.
Anyway, let's go to the next thing.
Anyway, I'll shut up. I'll stop. Nick, I love you. I'll stop.
Thanks, guys. You know what? We all had fun at the end of the day. It's 2024. Everything's got to be fun. Everyone's got to get a participation trophy. Let's go into the next subject, though.
Well, I got to go to one bar about his take on the rivalry. So
yeah, we already said it though, but let's hear it.
Man, I'm still blacked out when Baz put Christian Watson and Randy Moss in the same sentence. Man, I feel like you need to send Randy a handwritten letter and apologize.
I ain't sending him anything.
You know what, Nick? Man, you've been through the ringer the last couple. I genuinely feel bad for Bears fans of what they've had to see the last couple. The Hail Mary. Then the missed field goal. It's like, I mean, that's Vikings type stuff. That's the stuff we usually see go on. So, Nick, I feel bad for you. Clearly, I was rooting for the Bears. I wanted the Bears to win. We need a little more padding with the Packers. And sure enough, I mean, and Baz on your side, even though like the Packers didn't play their best game, even though you're probably crapping your pants till the end of the game, it almost is probably a little bit better that it came down to that, just because you know how heartbroken the Bears fans had to see, like, actually miss that field goal, go through that. It's like it's almost a little more fun on your guys' side for how it went down. But like, I mean, it's the NFC North. Like the Bears showed up. These rivalries, I mean, they're fantastic. This game was fantastic, and I expect the Vikings Bears this week to be a very close game. That's how the NFC North rolls, and it's good stuff. I mean, quick takeaways. Kind of everybody's already hit on it. I mean, the Bears offense did look better, no doubt. Seeing their offense coordinator get riled up there, it's like showing a little bit of life. Caleb Williams with the Vikings coming to town this week. I don't like the fact how fast he was getting the ball out of his hand. Hopefully that was not something we're going to be seeing this Sunday, because we want to get to him and put him on his butt. I know he's the most sacked quarterback in the league. So the offense looked way better. Him running the ball looked way better. Going to the Packers side, I mean, you're right, Baz. I mean, Jordan Love, he looked more mobile. He looked actually healthy. He played well. Christian Watson, hell of a game, like you said. Jordan Love being more mobile, I'll take it. I mean, if he's got more time in the pocket, it'll give him more time to throw some more interceptions. So I'll take that a little bit. Another bad interception though. Yeah. It's like it's kind of, I mean, Sam Darnold kind of doing the same thing week in and week out. You just know it's going to come. It's just a matter of when it's going to come. Packers secondary, I thought did not look great at all. They got some stuff to clean up for sure. Quay Walker, I mean, that dude just stands out. Like, what are they going to do with this dude? Should he even be starting at this point? I mean, should he be out there?
He should be playing edge.
Yeah, I mean, they got to figure something out to do with this guy. And like you said, like the biggest thing is the end of the game. Watching that final drive, Caleb, he took 2 sacks, right? I mean, it was like third and 18 or
yeah.
The fact that he came out and when he got that first down, I was like, holy shit, the Bears are going to do this. They're going to win this thing. That was clutch. I mean, whether they win that game or not, it's giving Caleb Williams a little bit of a clutch moment there, and he did it, and they got down. It's all on the coach at the end. Just pure stupidity how that thing ended. They didn't run on their play. They didn't try to get a little bit closer to do that. Overall, big win for the Packers. Doesn't matter how they did it. Like Baz said, I mean, Vikings, Packers, we'd be first in a lot of divisions in this league. So it's all about wins right now. We got to stockpile those things and on to the Bears. And like I keep saying, like I am not looking past the Bears whatsoever. They look pretty good.
Yeah, man. First off, for the Packers, Chris Brooks, man, I love seeing that dude. He's actually like involved in the game a little bit. I love seeing that. That's fire. But yeah, man, you guys all said it. Like for my biggest thing is I thought on 4th down Chicago should have went for it. It was like 4 minutes left. It probably been a little bit crazy, but I just thought holding the lead. I don't know what they were up by, like 5 or 6 at the time. I thought like, yo, go for it. Get yourself in field goal range. Put this thing away right now. Like, what do you got to lose, man? Everything's been bad in Chicagoland. You got a new offensive coordinator. Like, go put this thing away. And then they decide to punt it. Now, they still put themselves in a chance to go win it. Who knows? Maybe that field goal gets blocked anyway. That was just my biggest thing. I just would have loved to see kind of that edge to them to just go take the football game because it was sitting right there. It felt like for them. But overall, let's move over to this Vikings game, man, because, look, man, one bar, was this what like you were hoping? Like the game, did it go how you were hoping that it would go? I mean, you guys won by what, 10, 23-13?
I wanted to win by 30, man. I wanted to win by the Titans are trash. They're trash.
Okay.
I mean, have the Bears played the Titans yet?
Yeah, we played in week 1.
So everybody's beating them, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean the Titans are just it's bad. There's no sugarcoat. I mean, they had 13 penalties. Their coach is whining the whole damn time on the sideline. Every penalty. It's like, dude, get your season over with. You're gonna sit here and complain about every single penalty. It was nice. I got to see Will Levis up close, and Will Levis did some Will Levis things. He did do one thing that burns my ass, but it really. You can say this about any game, but I'm going to say it anyways. It should have been 30-6. Like on Will Levis goes out and throws a 98-yard touchdown. Josh Metellus falls on his ass. Will Levis gets his career-long touchdown. He's not beating that thing. So they go out there and get that, and then Jalen Naylor drops this beautiful dime by Sam Darnold in the end zone. That's his second touchdown pass he's catch or missed, by the way, this year. But the biggest so we got the win. Biggest takeaway: Sam Darnold bounced back. Stat-wise, he's not going to blow you away. This was probably one of his best games of the season. The dude moving around the pocket, making plays with his legs. He is just, I never thought I'd say it, how good Sam Darnold is in moving in the pocket and making things happen and prolonging the play. And that's what he did. And he needed this. The last 2 games, he threw 5 interceptions. Comes into this game, no interceptions, no turnovers. It was great to see. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely things that the Vikings need to do. They got to get that running game going. Give me a break. Last 3 out of 4 games, running game has been pretty much non-existent. Defensively, we're definitely getting after. They had 5 sacks. It was great to see them come back to life a little bit. Secondary, their secondary is going to be their thing. They're old, and sometimes they're going to look good and be like, wow, there's a nice seasoned vet play out there. And other times they're just going to be like, wow, he's old as hell. He's slow, and they're going to burn us. So it's all about how much we get to the quarterback. Luckily, we did get to the quarterback, which was good to see. But right now, we're just grinding, getting dubs, and they're doing their thing. And we're going to Chicago this Sunday, and it's gonna be a game. I keep saying it over and over, but it's gonna be a damn good game. But 8-2 overall, 23 win by 10. It wasn't as bad as the Jags 12-7 or whatever the hell it was. We're making progress. We need a blowout win. We need a big blowout win, and hopefully it comes on Sunday.
Hey, one bar, man. First off, Sam Darnold was incredible. I'm glad you brought that up. He looked awesome. And I was so disappointed because I thought for sure, like, oh, he's going to get the Titans a few. He didn't do anything. He looked great. But I have been hearing, this isn't me. You just heard it out there. Some people are saying Justin Jefferson's overrated. Do you agree with that statement? I've just been hearing it. I don't know.
Like in the comments right
I don't know.
now,
Well, it's just everywhere. Just
Justin Jefferson is the
on the street.
freaking man. He is man.
Real
Best
quick,
in the league, baby.
let me add something completely off script here, one bar, because I saw a tweet and it was getting me a little scared here. So we know that the Jets are probably going to move on from Aaron Rodgers. JJ McCarthy got a second knee surgery, and I saw a tweet saying we are getting closer and closer and closer to Aaron Rodgers duplicating what Brett Favre did. What's your thoughts on that?
You know what I'd love? I would love McCarthy to come back and Aaron Rodgers sign for whatever he wants, never play a snap, but just wear that purple jersey on the sideline just to twist the knife on Packers fans so they have to actually see that. So that would be beautiful, but no way. Aaron Rodgers looks so damn bad. I know, Baz, you're probably half kidding, but it is funny it was brought up because in the back of mine, it's like, man.
Darnold on a one-year deal, McCarthy, second knee surgery.
A one-year deal. And just go out there. That would be crazy. It would be absolutely insane. I wouldn't be opposed to it as long as he doesn't play.
Fair enough.
Nick, is your audio working? I just want to make sure you're good.
Yeah. Sorry, my camera died. Can you guys hear me?
No, yeah, you're good. You're good. Hey, man, I was gonna. I know you had something to tell the people, so you just let people know.
Oh, I had some. Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
There's 320 people in here. Hit that like button in order to help more people join the YouTube algorithm and join the NFC North Roundtable. And also make sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date Wednesdays and Thursdays on all NFC North news.
Damn,
Dang, Nick, you killed that. Okay,
Yeah.
Nick. All right. Hold on.
Yo, TD.
You hit it. Okay. Bass, what was your takeaways from this one, man?
So I'm not gonna have crazy amount of words for both the Detroit and Minnesota game because it seems like every week we're just like playing disgusting games against the AFC South. Like it seems like every single week we're talking about just some nasty games, right? Outside of the Texans, like every other team in that division is god awful. So I'll say this, one bar, you touched on it a huge here. When I was watching the replay of this game, man, Darnold was like moving around in the pocket. Like he's dodging this guy, like scrambling right, scrambling left, extending the play. I saw one where he like escaped a sack, rolled right through like a 6-yard dart over the middle for a first down on 3rd and 6. I was like, damn, that was a wild play. Darnold, staying more efficient here was the key to victory. Obviously, he's had some, turnover issues, no turnovers in this game, 107 quarterback rating. I think, it was still impressive that you guys, won by 10 considering you had no run game. Aaron Jones, 15 for 39, 2.6 average. Cam Akers didn't run well. Jefferson, 6 for 81. I don't agree that he's overrated. Dion, by the way, don't know where you heard of that.
Well, I just a lot of people.
You just heard. Yeah. You just heard. Yeah.
People told his people.
Levis, I think it was like an encapsulation of a Levis game, like threw an interception, got sacked 5 times, 98-yard touchdown. You're like, all right, I don't really know what to think leaving that game, but fine. Leading rusher, Will Levis, 7 of 18, like dog, right? Tony Pollard, 9 for 15. You guys shut him down in the run game. I expected you guys to beat him by more, but it's still a 10-point victory and it's a win, and 8-2, correct? Yeah, 8-2. So it's a good win.
One bar Bass started something, man. I mean, is this?
I did, dude. My bad.
This
Yeah,
make
Chris,
it
we're
more
gonna have
interesting?
Reggie Cobb or who else
Reggie
is coming?
Cobb.
I mean, I can't imagine the guys he's gonna bring with Alan Lazard. Is that one of his boys? I'm sure they'll all be coming.
I want Reggie Cobb on my team, man.
Nick, man, what do you think of this game?
I'm looking at everything, and I have a lot of hope for this upcoming Sunday for the Bears now because of this Titans game. The Vikings only beating the Titans by 10. I was like, one bar, right? I was expecting, a little bit more offense. We were kind of talking about maybe a Lions remake of what they did to the Titans. But, I thought Darnold looked good. The stats don't lie, 246, 2 touchdowns, not bad. Aaron Jones, though, a little underwhelmed there a little bit. What'd you say?
Wasn't great.
Dude, I saw him get smoked across the middle.
Yeah,
on one play. Dude, he got absolutely smoked. Same with Addison. There was some hits in that game, man.
And one bar, I'm looking at the score, and I'm like, the Bears kind of had a similar score to this. And that was week 1. So, I mean, shout out to you guys getting the dub. You guys are 8-2. I have nowhere to talk, but I was expecting a little bit more of a dominance stuff there. But, Tennessee kept Aaron Jones intact. Justin Jefferson, I don't know who the heck is saying that he's overrated, but that's
You just heard it. Just heard it.
Yeah, I just heard it. My people told your people, and then my people told me. So it's crazy. But the one reason why I have hope is because Will Levis threw for almost 300 yards in this game. I was like, All right. I mean, yes, he did have an interception against a very tough
He
secondary.
got a
in
third of
Minnesota.
that in one play.
Yeah, but still, I mean, he still did it.
Or
Stats don't
secondary
lie.
lying on the ground.
Attack Metellus. Attack.
But overall, I mean, we all expected Minnesota to win this game. They got the job done, and 8-2, man, Minnesota. That's impressive. But I am looking forward to playing them this upcoming weekend. But we'll talk about that more on Friday.
Shout out to Tony showing love from the AFC East. Rodgers is cooked.
I started something. I can't wait to see the jersey swap photos on Twitter, bro.
It's already done, man.
Probably is.
I've already seen it.
Bro, those are my favorite. The little edits where they're completely awful. And they're like, I spent so much time working on this.
Numbers all like skewed improperly. Like it's all distorted.
Those are the best. Those are the best. All right, man. This is the final game because actually, no, that wasn't the case. Final game. Lions beat the Jaguars. I mean, it wasn't even a football game. It was 52-6. I think it was a disaster. But I will say, man, just to put it out there, as just a football fan in general. All right, for anybody that just wanted to see history, if you want to watch the best offensive performance you've ever seen, Lions-Jaguars is where it's at, man. It was incredible. Like I'm watching the first two drives, and I got people jumping in. They're like, "Hey, what I missed?" I'm like, man, those first two drives, they look kind of easy. Like I came in and I was like, okay, I thought we do pretty well against their offense, but I thought, their defense, like that's some things I like. But every drive just looked exactly the same. They were all long drives. They absolutely had no answer for the Lions' run game. I mean, they just bullied them up front. It was a little bit unfortunate kind of watching today because it kind of felt like they were trying some things. They're like, okay, what can we do to maybe slow this down? And it was just like it didn't matter. You just didn't match up. You didn't have the personnel up front to even hang in the game. And I think that's what this turned into, to be honest with you. They just didn't have the guys up front to make it interesting by putting us in some downs where it was like, maybe this could be tough for them. Everything felt easy. It was a weird game as a fan. It was third and long, and then all of a sudden just like, oh, we got something for that. Goff to me played his best game. Hey, hold up. Goff, I'm just saying. I'm just letting everybody know right now. Y'all see him running around a little bit? A little bit of scoot Goff. We've been saying it. We've been hyping this up. He went for like 20 rushing yards in this game. Okay, so I'm just saying he's on the trajectory. By the time we hit the playoffs, he's about to go 200. All right, 200 on somebody. Which, just letting that team know, whoever that's got to be. It's unfortunate, but it's coming. Okay, he's working his way towards that. But yeah, no, the offense was incredible in this game. It was crazy to watch that. And then defensively, they kind of just continue what they've been doing, man. Playing really good defense. Pass defense has been pretty much top tier to this point. And it was, I think what happened was the second drive kind of ended this game, to be honest. Jacksonville scored a field goal on the first possession. We score a touchdown. They get the ball. 2nd and 1. They run it twice. They get no yards. They punt it back. We score a touchdown. The game honestly felt over. So that was kind of my takeaway. It kind of felt like the Titans thing, where it's like they just don't have enough to fight back in a game like this, especially when you can't stop the run at all, no matter what they did. So great win, 9-1, 1 bar. What do you think of the win?
Yeah, I got to ask you quick, though. I mean, you were spanking teams week in and week out. Is that going to come back and burn you at any point? Get to the playoffs?
Like
You're just going to be like used to whooping everybody's ass, and all of a sudden just someone brings their A game?
No, because, honestly, one by the way I look at it is I think we're going to do the same thing in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying?
Play the Jags? That's not possible.
Yeah, the Jags will not beat
Jags and Titans will not beat you in the playoffs. I can guarantee it.
Well, that might be true. But the Vikings might be in the playoffs. So you know what I'm saying? It's just one of these things. One bar. What did you take away from this game?
I mean, what's there to say? It's not even fun talking about the Lions games lately. I mean, I called it. Hendon Hooker was out there once again at the end of the game.
He did.
We'll see if I predict it in the next game, but it is what it is. I mean, it's a reoccurring theme. The Lions take care of business, and they're embarrassing opposing teams. It's embarrassing. I mean, and they got the Colts and Bears coming up. It should continue to just steamroll. I would love nothing more than a crazy ass upset, but the Lions are showing nothing about that coming anytime soon. They got the foot on the gas. And as a Lions fan, I wonder how many Lions fans actually watch it until the end. I mean, what point do you just go do something else? It's like, this isn't even fun. They did something to the Jags that I was hoping the Vikings would have done. They absolutely smoked them. They made them look like the Jags. They made Mac Jones look like Mac Jones. So Lions fans, enjoy the ride, man. We'll see what happens when playoff time comes.
Hey, man, Ed says we played our fair share of close games. One bar knows of a great close game that we played. It was 31-29, real competitive. One bar, man, that was a good one. You remember that one?
Oh, that was a great game. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait again. You know what? The only downside is we play you guys the last game of the season, And if you guys make we're gonna be benching or I mean, depending on where we're at in the season, like I want another shot at those Lions so damn bad. We could have won that game, Dion. We could have won that game, baby.
You don't believe
close.
that, Lamar. You don't believe that, man. But
I do.
Hey, look,
I
man.
do.
Honestly, though, look, man. You're right. The Vikings keep winning. Like as upsetting as it is, because I'm watching, just rooting for you guys to. I'm like, let's just create a little bit of space, and maybe this is the week that happens with the divisional game. But that would add so much to the flame if somehow it's still one kind of. I don't even know how the tiebreaker would work at that point, even if you guys did win. But just to have that scenario be in the air where like it's possible it could be a win or one seed versus you're going on the road. I mean that difference is crazy. That would be awesome to see it, man. Nick, what did you think about this one?
First of all, I gotta give myself a pat on the back because I'm pretty sure that I said that you guys it was gonna be a crazy score. Didn't I say like 50? No, I think I said like 40. I think I said 48-10. So I wasn't that far off.
Okay.
So you guys played a heck of a game. I'm happy that you helped my score prediction. I should have put a bet in on that for the over for the Lions, but I mean, you guys just dominated where you should have, and I think I read something. Dion, and prove me if I'm wrong. The Lions are the first team since I think it was 2007 or 2008. Yeah, something like that, where it's like 50 plus in multiple games in a season, right, Paz? Something like that.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
I'm like reading. I'm like, God, they're so good at football. It's unfair. But you guys definitely made Mac Jones look like Mac Jones. Baz, the legacy game did not happen against the Lions.
Next time for Mac, I promise.
But Jared Goff, what a bounce back after all those interceptions, 412 and 4 touchdowns. David Montgomery missed that guy every single day, averaging over 4 yards a carry. And then on top of it, two rushing touchdowns, and St. Brown. Geez, guy absolutely is top wide receiver in this league. So Lions did a great job, but I'll say this again, as I feel like the Lions play at home every single week. So I'm a little bit nervous. I don't know. The scheduling is just so stupid this year, but I'm very nervous to play the Lions
next week.
In 2 weeks.
We're on the road. We're on the road.
See, there you go.
Road, Nick.
But you're in a
About time you're on the road, man.
We're playing college football schedule, bro. We're at home every week. Baz, what'd you think about this game?
Yeah, man. Like I said, Mac Jones next time. Next time from Mac. No, I didn't believe him in this game. I saw them get a 58-yard field goal. I was like, all right. Someone put in my live chat, they're like 3-0 Jags. I'm like, there we go, Mac Jones. They got 3 more points after that the rest of the entire game. So it's getting, as much as I'm sitting here laughing, it's getting embarrassing that we're just coming on here every week talking about which NFC South team just got absolutely clobbered. But it is kind of fun to do, I'm not gonna lie. But it's not fun to watch the Lions just absolutely smoke teams like this. Goff yet again very efficient. You guys didn't punt. You had pretty much 8 drives. You had 9 drives. The last drive, a kneel down, you would have scored if you wanted to. You had 8 drives, 7 touchdowns, 1 field goal, and that's the most efficient game since the game that the 07 Patriots had in terms of an offense. Like every drive is just like, yeah, we're scoring. We're not going to punt the ball, right? The Jags had 0 run attack. Travis Etienne, 12 for 27, 2.3 average. Jared Goff didn't get sacked. You guys only sacked Mac Jones once. It didn't matter. And Goff had a perfect passer rating. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to have the Packers play the Lions again. It's not on Thanksgiving on a Thursday this year, but it is the Thursday after Thanksgiving. I'm very interested to see what that moon's looking like, Dion. I'm very interested to see what that moon's looking like, because that's at this point, with how you guys are beating teams, that's all I got. The moon. That's all I got is the moon. We're gonna be waiting for that moon. We'll see what that moon looks like. But hey, it can happen. So we'll see. But that was a disgusting game. I looked at the highlights, and that one, I think it was a 54-yard reception by Jahmyr Gibbs. I was like, that video sped up. Like, there's no shot, and it's not. That dude I think he might be the fastest guy in the league, honestly. And I'm envious. Jahmyr Gibbs is a beast.
It's crazy. And then right after the game, in a Bleacher Report was like, next gen stats 21.8 miles per hour.
That's it. That was only 21. I thought you were running 23.4 or something, dude.
I said it was that play. They said it was the fastest this year. I think it was the fastest this year, but I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like I could run 21 miles per hour, but I don't know if that's true or not. So
yeah.
I don't have a really
Don't you have a knee injury? Don't you have a knee injury?
Maybe not now. Next week, a couple weeks from now, we'll be able to. By the way, the one sack was your boy. It was your boy Bass, and I'm hoping, man, he does a couple of that.
Half split.
Yeah. Zadarius went out and got one, and it was beautiful to see it, because it was really like it felt like it was meant to be, because all game long it was like he was doing some work, and then finally at the very end, Mac Jones, man, he just didn't cook this week. Honestly, though, Bass had. What's up?
How's our boy James Houston? How's he doing in this game?
Well, Well, he was clean this game.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
he
It was a
didn't
clean
have
game.
a shit. He didn't have a shitty game. That's
Well, it's a clean football game. No flags, nothing.
That's good, real clean.
Nothing.
It's good.
Yeah, real clean football game. Man, all right. I think we hit on every team's game. So with that, make sure you join us on Friday because we're going to do our previews. We got a divisional matchup. We have another matchup too. I can't remember what the other one was. You know what? It's on my paper. I'll find it. We got some good matchups. We got San Francisco. That's what it is. San Francisco, Green Bay. That's going to be huge. So yeah, join us there. Chat. Appreciate all of you guys for joining. Hopefully I didn't miss one of the. What's up? What's up, Nick? You're pointing down.
No, I'm just saying, everybody hit that like button before you leave.
There you
please.
go. There you go. Well,
He's saying Bears down. That's what he's saying. They're going
Bear
down.
down. We are down, but bear down, baby.
They are down.
As
They're down
always.
Nick,
bad.
what does that mean? What does bear down mean? What's
You know what, brother? I was born into it. We just kind of say it.
okay?
It is kind of like funny. It's like bear down. It's like yeah, they are down. They just
We
lost.
down bad.
Well, Bar, any last words for the people, man?
It's gonna be some good matchups this week. I gotta give a shout out to Delton in the comments. He's always in our comments, and first off he said Bears players don't like Caleb Williams, just period. And then he said Lions fans don't like the Lions. So Delton, you're bringing your A game, man. It's short and
Words to
sweet.
live by.
It's very
Words to live by.
I love it.
I may have heard the Justin Jefferson thing from Dylan. Just putting it out there as possible.
Yep, he's blowing smoke, baby. I love it.
Nick, any last words for the people? Oh, that sounded crazy.
Shout out to my man, Relentless Mike, holding down the fort. There weren't a lot of Bears fans in the chat today, but we're coming out swinging. Tune into Friday's episode as we break down Minnesota versus Chicago, Week 12 at Soldier Field.
Got that beard going on. We see you, Relentless Mike. Bass?
You guys are all shouting people out of the chat, so I'll shout out So Turtles. He's always part of the Packers chat and cheesing it up there. So you got Sam Fran coming up. It's a big game. They've had our number as of late, but I'm excited for it.
There it is, man. Yeah, shout out the chat too, man. I see the Lions people representing. My man Ken in here with the studio. Look, by the way, So Turtles, I love the picture. That always makes me happy when I see it. I always forget it's a Packers fan, though, to be honest with you.
He's a model
So-
on my channel, so I see that logo every day.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Makes your show so much better. Yeah, hey, appreciate y'all joining, man. We'll see you guys Friday, and we're out.